It started on a quiet morning, the kind that used to bring her peace. Margaret, 68, sat by the window with her cup of coffee, watching the light spill across her kitchen table. She'd always been full of life, an art teacher, a gardener, a woman who laughed easily. But lately, even climbing the stairs felt like a chore. Her knees ached, her hands trembled when she reached for her mug, and every night, sleep came slower than the night before. She told herself it was just aging. Everyone slows down, she thought. But then came the bloating, the fatigue, the strange heaviness in her body that she couldn't explain. Her skin lost its glow, her breath felt stale no matter how much she brushed, and something deep inside whispered, "This isn't just age." Doctors said her tests looked normal, her friends told her to rest more, but Margaret knew something was off. Until one morning, while visiting her neighbor, a lively 74-year-old Greek woman who seemed to age backward, she heard a story that would change her life. "You know, my grandmother used to say, if your body feels heavy, it's because it's carrying something that doesn't belong there." That one sentence stayed with her. What if the tiredness, the foggy mind, the dull skin wasn't just getting older, but her body's way of crying for a cleanse? What if feeling tired, bloated, or foggy isn't about aging at all, but about what's living inside you? This simple morning recipe passed down through generations helped one woman clear her body, regain her energy, and feel 20 years younger. Margaret didn't expect much when she tried it, but within days, her body began to change in ways she couldn't ignore.
You see, aging doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in quietly, not through the number of birthdays you've had, but through the tiny layers of waste your body can't get rid of anymore. Every meal, every sip of tap water, every pill we've ever taken. They all leave behind invisible traces. Chemicals, preservatives, heavy metals, parasites, even residues from the air we breathe. Over time, they don't just disappear, they accumulate. Think of your body like a house you've lived in for decades. If you never clean the corners, dust builds up, the air grows stale, the pipes start clogging. It's not that the house is old, it's just been neglected. The same thing happens inside us. Our liver and kidneys, our body's natural filters, once worked like brand new air purifiers. But after 60, they slow down. The dust stays longer. The toxins find places to hide, in fat tissue, in joints, even in the brain. And that's when we start feeling it. The morning stiffness, the brain fog, the sudden food sensitivities we never had before, the restless nights where sleep just won't come. But what if it's not? Most people call it aging. What if we're not getting older, we're just getting polluted? Margaret began to wonder the same thing. She started reading, watching, searching, and what she discovered shocked her. That much of what she thought was normal aging was actually her body begging for a cleanse. That's when she remembered her neighbor's words. If your body feels heavy, it's carrying something that doesn't belong there. That sentence led her to uncover a forgotten morning ritual, a gentle, natural way to help the body flush out the toxins that age us from the inside out. It started with something so simple, Margaret almost laughed. A recipe her neighbor said came from her grandmother. A woman who lived past 90, never took a single prescription pill, and still walked every morning with a smile that made you feel she knew a secret. The ritual wasn't magic. It wasn't some fancy detox kit or a diet from the internet. It was built from real food, the kind nature designed to cleanse us long before pharmacies existed. She gathered just 3 things: a small pumpkin, a crisp green apple, and a handful of raw pumpkin seeds. That's it. No powders, no supplements, just what her grandmother used to have in her kitchen every autumn. She peeled and sliced the pumpkin, rich in vitamin A, C, and something rare most people have never heard of, vitamin T. That's the one that helps your body absorb heavy meals and burn fat efficiently. Then came the apples, full of fiber and potassium, the kind that feed your gut, help your heart, and make digestion smooth again. She baked them together until soft, then crushed a spoonful of pumpkin seeds, tiny but powerful. They contain an amino acid called cucurbitin, known to help the body disarm and flush out parasites that hide in the intestines. Once cooled, she added a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, not just for flavor, but for absorption. Vitamin E in the oil helps your body unlock the nutrients in the pumpkin. The taste? Sweet, earthy, comforting, like autumn in a bowl. But the real magic wasn't the taste. It was what happened next. After 3 days, Margaret said she woke up lighter. Her stomach felt calm, her sleep deepened, and that fog that had been hanging over her mind started to lift. No harsh cleanses, no hunger, just one bowl in the morning and another at night for 3 days. It wasn't just food. It was her body finally remembering how to heal itself, and that was only the beginning, because what her grandmother taught next would help her not just cleanse, but renew her energy, and even calm her restless nights. As the days went by, Margaret began to notice something else. Her mornings were lighter, yes, but her nights were still restless. She would lie in bed, her body tired but her mind wide awake. It was as if her system was clean, but not calm. That's when her neighbor handed her a small glass bottle, golden and glowing under the kitchen light. "This," she said, "is what we used to call the night oil. It helps the body rest, from the inside out." The recipe was older than any pharmacy. Just 3 ingredients again, each chosen for what the body needs after sunset. A handful of pumpkin seeds for magnesium, nature's relaxation mineral. It calms the nervous system, slows the heartbeat, and tells the muscles, it's okay to let go. Then, a spoon of cloves, tiny buds with a powerful gift. They hold eugenol, a natural compound that supports the liver, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps the body's nightly detox smooth and steady. And finally, extra virgin olive oil, the carrier, the healer, the preserver. 73% of it is monounsaturated fatty acids, the kind that protect your heart while your body sleeps. She warmed them together in a water bath, not boiling, just a slow infusion, letting time draw out every drop of goodness. When it cooled, the oil turned amber, earthy, fragrant, and deeply comforting. Each night before bed, Margaret took 1 teaspoon with a glass of warm water, not as a supplement, but as a ritual, a signal to her body that the day was over. Within a few days, she noticed the change. Her breathing deepened, her sleep came faster, and for the first time in years, she woke up feeling rested. The night oil wasn't just restoring her sleep, it was restoring her balance. It soothed her nerves, cleared her mind, and even eased the inflammation that had made her joints ache for years. Because when the body feels safe, it finally begins to heal. Margaret realized something profound that night, that true health isn't about doing more, but about listening more deeply. The body already knows how to heal. We just have to give it what it's been missing. The first week was subtle. Margaret didn't expect much. She'd tried cleanses before, but this time felt different. There was no hunger, no dizziness, no struggle, just a quiet sense that something inside her was reorganizing itself. By day 7, her bloating was gone. Her stomach, once heavy and unpredictable, felt calm. She began sleeping through the night again, waking up clear-headed and light. And then came the moment she couldn't explain. One morning, she caught her reflection in the mirror, and for a second she saw herself again. Her eyes brighter, her skin softer, her smile easier. It wasn't vanity, it was recognition. The body she'd forgotten was remembering. By the second week, her energy surged. She began gardening again. The flowers she'd neglected for years were blooming under her hands. She danced a little while making breakfast. Even her grandkids noticed. "Grandma, you look happy again." And she was. It wasn't just her face that looked younger. It was her spirit. Her joints moved freely. Her mind felt sharper. She could focus again, reading books she once loved, humming songs she'd forgotten. This wasn't magic. It was biology at its best. When the liver clears, the blood flows. When the gut heals, the brain brightens. When toxins leave, energy returns. It's the body's way of saying, "Thank you, I remember how to live." By day 21, something remarkable had happened. Margaret no longer needed her afternoon naps. The stiffness that once made her mornings slow had vanished, and her doctor, during a routine checkup, said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Your numbers look better than they have in years." 21 days. No pills, no strict diets. Just whole food, rest, and a little faith in nature's wisdom. Because healing doesn't come from fighting your body, it comes from listening to it. And for Margaret, it wasn't about turning back time. It was about turning back toward herself. What Margaret experienced wasn't magic. It was science. The kind of science we often forget because it doesn't come in a pill. The human body is built to cleanse itself. Every single day, your liver filters more than 500 liters of blood, removing toxins, dead cells, and metabolic waste. Your kidneys process another 150 liters of fluid, keeping your system balanced and clean. Your intestines host trillions of microbes, tiny workers that digest, detoxify, and even regulate your mood. But here's the truth. When those systems get overloaded from processed foods, stress, or lack of sleep, they can't keep up. Toxins linger, inflammation rises, and the process of cellular renewal, the body's natural repair mechanism, slows down. Scientists call this oxidative stress, when there's too much waste for the body to neutralize. It's one of the key factors behind aging, fatigue, and chronic disease. But when you give your body the right support, nutrient-rich foods, antioxidants, and rest, you activate something remarkable, autophagy. That's the process where your cells literally clean themselves out. They recycle old, damaged parts into fresh, healthy components. It's nature's built-in reset button, and it works best when digestion is calm, inflammation is low, and sleep is deep. That's exactly why Margaret's rituals worked. Pumpkin and apples delivered vitamins A, C, and E, antioxidants that reduce cellular damage. Pumpkin seeds added zinc and magnesium, essential for nerve and immune repair. Cloves brought eugenol, a compound proven to support liver detox and fight harmful microbes. And olive oil? It made sure those nutrients actually reached the cells. No magic, just biochemistry doing what it was designed to do. Modern research now confirms what ancient wisdom always knew. When the body is nourished and cleansed naturally, its cells remember how to heal, renew, and protect. That's the real fountain of youth. Not a serum, not a surgery, but the quiet, steady intelligence within every single cell. Because your body isn't fighting against you, it's waiting for you to give it the chance, to rest, to release, to renew.
It's been months since that morning on the stairs, the moment Margaret thought she had grown old. Now she climbs those same steps with ease. Her eyes are bright again. Her laughter fills the kitchen. Even her daughter says, "Mom, it's like you came back to life." But when you ask Margaret what changed, she doesn't talk about diets or supplements. She talks about something deeper, a shift that started inside her. Margaret said, "I stopped fighting my age. For years I thought getting older meant losing everything, strength, energy, even joy. But now I see aging isn't about loss. It's about listening to what your body's been trying to tell you all along." She calls it her new way to age. Instead of pushing her body harder, she began to care for it gently, feeding it real food, moving with gratitude, resting without guilt. And slowly, something beautiful happened. Her body didn't just recover. It remembered. It remembered how to heal, how to move, how to glow. If you're watching this and you feel tired, not just tired in your body, but tired in your soul, please hear me. You are not broken. You are not too late. Your body is still yours, waiting for you to come home to it. Science can explain the chemistry. Nature provides the tools. But the spark, the true healing, begins when we choose to believe that renewal is still possible. For Margaret, that choice changed everything. For you, it might start with something as small as a morning ritual, a spoonful of nourishment, or simply a breath, taken with gratitude, not fear. Growing older isn't the end of the story. It's just a new chapter. And this time, you get to write it with kindness. Because age doesn't take away your strength. It simply asks you to discover it in a new way. If this story touched something in you, if you've ever felt the weight of fatigue or wondered where your energy went, remember, your body hasn't forgotten. It's waiting, patiently, for you to begin again. Margaret's journey began with one small ritual, a simple morning habit that woke up her cells, her spirit, and her hope. And now, it's your turn. If you'd like to discover that same 21-day renewal method, the one that helped Margaret reclaim her energy and peace, you'll find everything you need just below this video. Because no matter your age, no matter how long you felt tired, you can still write a new chapter. One that begins today with a single, gentle choice.